Hello and welcome to Pop Snitch Podcast. We are here on a Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Brandon.
And we are going to break down the last two episodes of Love Island. But before that, how are you, babe?
I'm doing great. We went to the Mets game last night, which was a lot of fun on Women's Night.
We did, of all nights. What a delight. It was so hot. I think I'm still sweating from it. I've already showered, been good to go, but I was disgusting when we got home last night. It was so hot.
Yeah, I was not feeling the heat for sure, but as we know, one of our favorites, Hoda Kotb, was the first pitch thrower last night. We loved that.
Yeah, as she's running out, I see her on the screen, and to be clear, Hoda is absolutely gorgeous. But Brandon yells out, "Oh my God, she's so hot." And everyone just kind of turns around because it was a weird thing to say about Hoda. But she did great.
Yeah, I mean, she was amazing. But just all of a sudden, from men and women, they were like, it's just outrageous that you would say that this woman is hot. And I'm like, Hoda's hot. What can I say?
You do personally just like have an affinity for older women.
I do. It's been a thing since I was a kid. Like I was always into the older actresses and whatnot, you know.
Well, someone asked you recently if you were single, what your age range would be, like on an app, and you said something wildly out of pocket.
I mean, I said that there is no range, number one. I said, I would go up to 65, 70.
Range up. You said 65,
no, there's no, yeah.
70.
Yeah, there's no.
But you said going down, you wouldn't date anyone younger than like 35 or something.
Yeah, I don't know that I could date anyone under 35, but the top of the range, there is no range. I mean,
yeah, if you don't remember 9/11, like I don't know.
Yeah, that's real.
We're going to talk about. Talk about that all the time.
You know, when we're talking about 9/11 and you don't understand,
and you were 5, like.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be wild. Yeah, the heat in New York City, it was so bad last night and it was so bad today. And you keep making fun of me, but I bought shoes for our dog because I can't have his paws being scorched because all of New York is just pavement. And he walks in them like he's trying to walk from his back paws forward. Like it is, honestly, you got so upset.
Well, because you showed me this picture of him walking like there was something wrong with him, like he had some sort of mental error. And I'm like, did you feed him something weird? Did he eat weed off the street? And he's like,
yeah, he was having a really hard time. He is doing much better now. He just had to learn. He did not know what to do. He was like, you know what? I'm going to walk with my back foot forward. That feels right.
No.
He still kicks the back one out, but trying to get him to use the bathroom as the sun is beating down on me is my new Everest.
Yeah, different for sure.
Not great. I also got tickled yesterday when we got a comment, and I have laughed about this 3 times today.
Yeah, I love it too.
He was like, I don't think your mics are big enough.
These mics are huge. They sound great. They are gigantic. They are normally on a stand, yeah, but you don't get as good of sound if they're, out here. So, I think maybe that could be like one of our, when we eventually have merch and stuff, it could be like Big Mike Podcast or, Big Mike Energy.
Wow. Yeah. Big Mike is what we're headed for. And those of you listening, thank you so much. We have tickets to BravoCon that we have for November. And our goal is to be at like at least 1,000 followers. And then we want to ask people questions, interview people, make merch for ourselves.
Yes.
To wear.
Yes. It's going to be great.
We're really excited about it. So let's talk about Love Island, episode 18, which we collectively watched on Sunday. It was the dump heard around the world. The minute that I saw Hoda on my screen in a confessional saying, I just want to restart. I just want to rewrite my story. I was like, here we are with the redemption arc. She clearly was not in the bottom, so someone else is going home. I turned to you and said that. But what they chose to do was so bizarre. I am so confused by how Hoda didn't end up in the bottom. I'm assuming it's because she's a fitness influencer and has so many followers, like substantially more than anybody else.
Well, I think there's 2 type of watchers too. The people who are watching not because they necessarily think this is the best way to be in a relationship, but the person who is pulling for these individuals to either find love or at least have a great time, right? And then there are those who are watching that are solely watching for drama. And there's no doubt that if your voting is taking that into consideration, you're going to keep Huda because she is going to create these kinds of viral moments and stuff. And I think there's a contingent of watchers who don't want to watch this unless there is that. And I totally understand that. I'm just saying that's not how I watch it. But I totally get that editing. Yeah.
I feel sick in my stomach when I'm watching her just because she really struggles to connect on a level that's not purely physical.
Yeah.
And watching her attempt to do it and get shot down over and over is like really difficult. It's not my like silly little goofy Love Island experience.
Well, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this because the biggest thing about the episode that I think is kind of the most shocking, even beyond who gets voted off, is the fact that they don't show the discussions.
Okay.
So I want to know. I want to know what you think Huda's discussion amongst the girls was like. How or like how they did not choose Iris or who else was there? Oh, Amaya to go home. Like, what was the real rationale for that?
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm racking my brain. It's what's making me feel like we're not seeing key moments yet that we need to be seeing for this to make sense. They always show deliberations. So I was confused by that. You have Hannah, who is actually in a relationship. Amaya, who's coupled with Austin, who doesn't want to be with her. And then you have Iris, who's like kind of just coupled up with TJ. So if you're going, as often they have in the past, with people who have legitimate connections, you would send Amaya home. Obviously, our Amaya Papaya is a sweet little baby girl, and I think they just genuinely connected with her. I don't know why Hannah, the rationale that Shelley gave was something like, you've gotten to do this already, but it's crazy because Hannah connected with Charlie. He was sent home after the last dumping. So she immediately connects with Pepe after that and was coupled up with him. Amaya connected with Ace. He was 30 seconds later disgusted by her, slept outside, acted insane. And then she coupled up with Austin. And so that's two guys. Iris coupled up with Jeremiah. And then he was like, hey, bestie. It's like friendship vibe.
No, exactly.
And so then she was like liking TJ. So it was literally all like that particular rationale made absolutely no sense to me.
The only thing that makes sorry.
Go ahead.
So the only thing that makes sense to me is just the irrational processing of seeing that she did not even try to talk to TJ. And the reason is she had just connected, lost a boyfriend, and now reconnected with Pepe. Of course, she's not going to try to talk to the brand new guy who she's also not attracted to. Mm-hmm. And they were able to somehow pivot that in their
talking to him either. And neither were any of them.
Oh, exactly. So so what do you think?
If I had to guess, I would say that Huda she's just someone who in those conversations seems to push those girls in directions they don't want to go.
I hear that.
And I think that she was like, listen, I need a chance with Pepe. I could be completely wrong, but it's the only thing that would shove Hannah out, because as soon as it was said, you saw Nic and Ace and Taylor, all their eyes bugged out of their heads. And
they were absolutely
shocked. That was the last person I thought would go. And honestly, I was pretty surprised. You have Iris, who's like just got there. So taking her off would make a lot. That honestly probably would have been the best move. But I also think that she showed them that she was cool, but the way that she handled the Huda situation, that people really respected her for that. But still, like,
to me, based on, like, if I was there, I would be basing it off of who I actually think has a potential to make a connection in this, dispensation of the show. Mm-hmm. And for me, Amaya, I actually like her. I think she's funny. I think she loves with her whole heart. I think she really goes for it. She's very sweet. The problem is I don't believe that there is a person in this group or even that's coming that is going to be able to meet her energy, as evidenced by what eventually happens when they head to Casa Amor.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. She's connecting with that guy. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I hope the best for Amaya. But I agree with you. At this point, I said Amaya is the only one that doesn't have a connection, like literally at all, that's going anywhere with anyone. So all I can think is that Huda initially was trying to save herself by coupling up with Pepe, and throwing Hannah off was the only way she could figure that might work. The other thing I can see is that maybe they just didn't like Hannah as much.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to view this when you're that person getting voted off other than I'm the least liked person here.
Well, and I think also what's happening is that Ace, we talked about this a little, Ace is playing a different game. Like, he cares about winning the money more than he cares about winning the money and getting the brand deals and things like that more than he cares about actually finding someone, I think, because either the rumors are true that he and Shelley knew each other ahead of time, or he's playing this with a strategy that just is kind of like diabolical and makes the show less fun. It seems like he and Nic are pushing out competition as opposed to rewarding people who are coupling up. Like, it's just a weird, kind of cruel thing that they're doing. And you could tell he was mad in the next episode when he sat down Shelley and was like, why didn't Amaya go home? Like, he literally thought he could mastermind the entire thing from like across the room, and was angry that the girls went a completely different direction than he thought they would. And the girls were saying, like, oh, actually, you've had a lot of connections and these other two haven't had to. Whereas the guys' reasoning was completely the opposite, where they were mad at him for quote unquote locking in and not exploring things. And I'm like, Jeremiah has explored exactly, or actually more connections than most of the guys there, because he was with Huda and then Iris, and now he was really into Andrina, and that's why they were mad.
Well, and it's even like, for some reason it goes back to this thing that you've been talking to me about that like exists in this manosphere or whatever, that they don't like the fact that he is essentially like simping for her, like, or the girls that he's into.
Oh, that's
like,
a really good point.
Like that he's like, no, I really like her. I want to be with her. I want to contemplate what a life would look like with this person outside of here. And they're like, oh, how beta, you know, or something like that. And I really do think that's it, because what they were upset about Adrena is that her name? Adrena, I think. Andrina. So what they were disliked about the fact wasn't necessarily that he was liking her or that he was taking her off the table. It was that he was already looking like, well, I'm thinking about what life would be like with this person and how I could connect with this person and meeting their needs. And I mean, just a far more advanced version of dating than these guys, I think, are used to.
Yeah. Well, people online were trying to say that Jeremiah was like love bombing. And I'm like, no, he wasn't.
What are you talking about?
Just really liked a girl and told her. Like, that's how internet brain people have gotten, where if a guy talks to a girl and is like, no, actually, like, I want to like try this out with you. I want to date. I want to do, you know, this and that. They're like, ugh, love bomb. And I'm like, no, there's actual love bombing. And there's just a guy saying he likes a girl. He wasn't love bombing Huda. She was mad he didn't make her pancake right. And every 5 seconds, she's looking at him going, you got to step up your dates. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, we're in Love Island. I can't like take you out right now.
Well, also love bombing is often like followed by like negging that person,
right? And like, trying to separate them from
and that's not what's happening here at all.
No,
matter of fact, the exact opposite.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of what you're saying, and I think they were also just really jealous of Jeremiah. Every girl that came in, her eyes went there first.
Well, yeah, he's a great looking guy.
He's a great looking guy, and he was nice. And honestly, they could take a page out of his book. He was nice, and while he was dating a girl, he was dating that girl. And they didn't like that. And it was kind of annoying initially with Huda, not because he wasn't going hard in the challenges, but because she was like threatening the new girls who didn't understand the dynamics. But I feel like he was playing the game the way that I wanted to see it played.
Yes.
And they were mad that they really thought if he locked in with someone like Andrina that he would win. Like, I genuinely believe that.
No, of course. And see, I'll be honest, like something that I've completely forgotten about until you've mentioned it in this episode is the money.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot that there's even a money component to this.
Yeah.
And so, because so many of the shows now don't have a money component.
Exactly.
And so the fact that it is sort of a competition is kind of strange too.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking about that. But I will also say, like, Nic and Ace are straight diabolical with this attack on Jeremiah.
I'm so mad at Nic because I was really riding for him before. I thought he and Sierra were so cute. I thought he was like quirky and funny. And now I'm like, oh, he has no object permanence, and he is so fixated on women as something to have. And I know that's a lot. Like, I almost hate to say that, but here's what I'm noticing with Bella. He was like super into her, and then Sierra came in and he was super into her, and then he was like, no, I'm really into Sierra, until Bella made out with him and like went hard in that one challenge, and then he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then he was with Sierra, and then Andrina comes and they go hard in the challenge, and he's like, I know I slept with you last night, Sierra, but I am also attracted to Andrina, so I have to pursue that. Like, it's all based on like a lustfulness, and it feels like he does not see women as someone to partner with. It feels like he sees them as someone to have. And he was one of the only ones that said he cheated on his girlfriend.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So I just lost a lot of respect for him.
There's a history here. Yeah. Well, let's move on to what happens next. Let's go into.
Well, I'll say for the record, I think that Austin and either Iris or Amaya should have been sent home. I can't believe I'm still looking at Austin on my screen. He had like gross bumps under his nose. And
no.
Like, what outbreak? Someone get that man like 13 pimple patches.
I think he's stressed. I think
What?
Somebody leaked to him that people are going hard after his MAGAism.
Well, they should. And I hope he gets stressed. I hope he gets more sets. Okay. So then we have the Casa Amor of it all, right? So the men are blindfolded. They think it's just going to be a regular kissing challenge. And Ariana comes in and holds up little cards, like from what movie was that with Keira Knightley, where he holds up the cards?
Oh, Love Actually.
Love Actually. She like Love Actually's them, and they realize that they get to go. I will say Huda's kick made me laugh. She was so excited for a genuine fresh start. So they all got their little suitcases and rolled out. And
well, it's interesting too, because I think they had been told to pack their suitcases, and I think that's why immediately
another dumping.
Yeah, why Ariana immediately was like saying, "Hey, nobody's getting dumped, nobody's leaving." So
yeah,
and so I think that's what I think everybody had to pack a bag for.
Yeah, because I do think Casa Amor is like a little, maybe it's right on time, but it feels a little early this year. I have my theory as to why, but I think even the girls there were like, "Wait, what?" Okay, so they bring in the new girls, the Casa girlies, and they do the competition where they're kissing each of the guys. Now, this is where, of those OGs, Pepe has taken my number one slot.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Smart man.
He grades all of them a 10.
Yep.
And he refuses, even though after being pushed, to do anything other than 10. Why? Why grade them anything but a 10?
So he is giving them 10s. They're having passionate kisses. The other guys kind of take turns negging the women, being like...
subbing them hard.
Yeah, it was so gross.
Especially TJ, who, give me a freaking break, brother.
What are you? They're all taller than you, TJ. Like, get over it.
These amazing looking women are kissing him like passionately, and he's like, 5 and a half.
Yeah, Brandon, the craziest part to me is that he thought he was giving these grades to his friends.
He's sick.
The people that he knows, in his mind, he was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to tell everyone they're a bad kisser so they'll want me more. Which is psychotic, narcissistic ideology about how to get a woman, is to show a little bit of attention.
And he's like, what do I got to say? I'm honest.
Yeah, like, it's like, well, we're honest too. And that's why you're alone, you short little troll. Like, oh my God. I can't stand him. His red pill hanging right out of his mouth. Like, man. And you could tell Ariana had it.
Oh,
she literally was like,
she was
is it with
done. Well, they were done with all of them. What you're not saying is that Ace did the same thing, and Nick was absolutely diabolical in this challenge. Every single girl that came up without asking, touched all over their butts without consent. Literally was like, and then giving the girls that he just rubbed all over their butts like a 5.5.
Yeah, he like is fully like slapping and grabbing, and then would be like a 5. It was a little too much tongue, or it was, and I'm like,
and if they came in, and they gave him like a nice kiss and a peck on the cheek, he'd be like, not passionate enough. And then the next girl would come and swallow his head, and he'd be like, too feisty.
Yeah, it was just really gross to watch.
Sick.
Taylor, to his credit, gave people good scores, weird ones, like a 9.6.
Please stop.
But he did that. The craziest part of that challenge to me, I was not surprised by TJ's behavior at all. I was surprised by Nick's. I think he like saw or heard TJ doing it and was like, ha ha ha. I don't know.
Weird. Just very, very strange energy.
Yeah. The thing that genuinely shocked me from that challenge was that Taylor ended up with 2 women, 2 hot women.
Yeah.
So I have to believe that he's got some sort of like aura or swag or something that is not coming through my television that I'm not getting.
There's a couple of things. I think he is funny. I think he comes off as funny to women. I think he also is less imposing than some of the other guys. And I don't mean that like that he's lesser than. I mean, like he's just not.
He's approachable.
He's approachable in not like a way that he's ugly or anything. He's a great looking guy, but he's just more approachable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that they like that. I think that he seems more kind on the rip, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I think is there. And I mean, obviously, like those girls think he is attractive. They wouldn't have jumped up on the stand and competing with each other if they didn't think so.
Well, and they had both kissed him. So
Coco and Clark.
And Clark are both so hot. Like
I couldn't believe it. I'll be honest, like I did not think anyone would be standing with him. And to see that there were 2 people, I thought
someone would. I thought someone might not stand with Ace or TJ. I clearly had like a vendetta.
You just don't like Ace and you don't like TJ, and they have something in common, and I really hate that.
I know.
I hate that for you. The internet's coming.
That's fine. They can come. But let me tell you what, the internet can come, and I'll tell you why. Because the producers know I'm right, and that's why they brought in a whole NBA team.
Literally, all the men that they brought in are over 6 foot tall, most of them over 6'2". I mean, in this group of guys, I would look like a shrimp at 6'1", 6'2".
Which is crazy.
Which is absolutely wild. And let me just tell you, like, the women are loving it. That height, Rachel's been telling me about height blindness, and it's a thing. Real freaking thing.
I mean, I will say that's a thing, but these guys are hot. Like,
they're all
objectively attractive.
Love Island. I mean, what are we talking about here?
I know, they're all hot, and they seem so much nicer than the other guys. I don't know if it's because I'm so disgusted by all the guys right now.
I will also say these other men have been sitting out in the blazing, blistering sun and like having stressful interactions for weeks, and these guys are coming hot out of like a hotel or something, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. But they actually, in like the very short snippets that we saw them talking, were asking women questions. And I was like, oh, imagine asking a question that's not insane or about them.
Right.
So I was enjoying that. I really want Sierra to like Elon.
Yeah.
I like them together.
He seems like a sweet guy. I'm hoping that plays out. And I just, the Nick of it all, there was a point where I was pulling for Nick and Sierra. I really thought that they were a good match.
They were the only viable couple.
But
Ace and Shelley, I guess, but everybody hates Ace.
These last 2 episodes with the first of all, like how he spoke to Sierra and like gaslit the crap out of her about like, I want to be open, but I don't want to confuse you. I'm not going to be open, but I want to be open, you know?
I want to be closed, and yet I'm open. We should be closed, and yet I'm open.
We should be
opening right up.
We should be closed, but I'll be honest, the door is open.
Yeah, it was just like, and she was just done.
Yeah.
You could tell. She
Rightfully
was so frustrated.
Rightfully so.
And I felt so sorry for her because she is articulate and interesting and funny and deserves better than Nick doing whatever he's doing. I'm just so glad that TJ is alone. He's already been humiliated by these girls. And when he sees these men, he's going to realize being like an 8 in Tampa is not being a 10 anywhere else. Like the way he thinks, he is such hot shit right now. And he is about to look up and see some real men walk through the door. And I hope it tanks his confidence. I hope he feels exactly the way he tried to make these women feel. And he's up alone and off the island.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've got little hope for I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know that the men. I think this is the shocking thing for me is I don't know if the men are going to gravitate towards these women because they really think that they're hot crap and can get these girls and like maybe they'll have more fun with them, or if they will go the safe route and think that all of their girlfriends are coming back to them, not knowing that every single man over there is 6'5". Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here are my predictions with the guys. Okay, Ace is not going to do anything. Like,
no, that's clear pretty much.
He's going to stay with Shelly. He's going to do... Now, I hope Shelly.
She's
looking. Picture of you and Ace, and then look at you and this other guy, and wake up from this nightmare that you're putting us through. Like, girl, come
nightmare.
on. So I'm really hoping that something happens there. Alandria's not going to do anything. And that's why I think the episode ends with Amaya kind of going in for a kiss on Alandria's man. And I mean, he picked Alandria after picking Shelly.
Yep.
So I think Alandria was already like, okay, I'm your second pick. That's fine. We can be friends. Like, she fully is like, give me back to Taylor. And I am like, he doesn't like you.
But I'm worried about this, though, because, and maybe, I don't remember what happened last year, but there's an odd man and woman out in both scenarios.
Right.
And so there's been this ultimatum issued to both TJ and Amaya that they have to find a connection within 24 hours or they're in danger of leaving.
Right.
What happens if TJ finds a connection and Amaya finds a connection? Is it possible that Alandria is going to leave? Is it possible that...
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because...
Like, I don't understand that part.
It's clearly the most popular woman on there just by voting.
Right? Yeah.
They're not going to... I can't imagine that they're going to make a way for her to go home. And conversely, I mean, TJ's not popular, but... And I honestly don't think anyone would care if any of the guys went home at this point. But I think... I think to your point, it'll be interesting to see what happens. There are a lot of theories about whether or not someone is actually going home tonight. It's hard to imagine that someone is already, but perhaps. I think what I'm most confused by is the whole reset where everybody's coming back to the villa, because like the whole point of Casa Amor is you're looking down the hall and you're waiting to see, are they coming back alone or are they coming with somebody? And if they come back alone, then you have to be like noodling around. What did they do? And you got to see what they're going to tell you. So I'm
real confused about how it's going to be different, because it obviously is.
Like, how many couples will stay? Like 6? And then I'm just like genuinely confused by it all, like what that's going to look like. I'm sure that they've thought through it. They said that there's like a lot of twists and turns.
Well, there's probably going to be a huge recoupling where combined with something that we have the ability to weigh in on as well.
I am thinking that will probably be the case.
So
that America will vote for something.
I think so.
Is there anything on the app saying? I didn't get any updates.
We're going to start doing the apps. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about at the end of the podcast, is just like some segments that you guys would be interested in. So, talk to us on social media, send us a message. I think we should start going through the Peacock app questions, because there are ones for every episode and they're all pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. But they're like, do you think Jeremiah, they're all yes or no questions.
Yeah. But I think we can make them a little more interesting than yes or no.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And then we have also talked about the possibility of doing like our reactions to like relationship questions or any like things like that, or questions about our relationship. So definitely you can send those in as well. We'll decide which ones can make the show, but I think that might be a fun way for you guys to get to know us, for us to get to know the audience. So definitely just be communicating with us on social media. That's Pop Snitch Pod on TikTok and Instagram, and all of our other links are at popsnitch.com.
Yeah, please follow us. And we are going to watch The Valley and Next Gen and Love Island tonight. And so we'll be back in your feed tomorrow for whatever happens today, since we get one night off from Love Island. We're trying to couple up episodes a little bit more. And so we'll take some notes and see you tomorrow.